Thunder Radio, where we groove as the spirit moves. Yeah. Drawing the honey from the rock with the righteous Reverend Doctor on BeE'iN Thunder Radio.
Welcome to the fourth watch, mighty friends. I'm Brother TC, and we're coming at you live once again from a swamp in a bayou. I hope your eye has the why as each one passes alongside. Thank you, mighty Father, for a treasured brother's love for the Son of Glory in each heart. That each one would have a hope of glory in their heart this day, and a love of everlasting, the everlasting glory of our Father, mighty Jehovah, the faithful one, the Son of Glory, the anointed Son, YeHoShUa, YeHoShUa. Let us go now, each of us, and prepare the way for him. That a 7,000 double portion, having gone out, can receive the rain and blossom and the scent of all their buds that are about to blossom would be seen and smelt like the foundries and the laven's craft of old. These things are vast and must be torn down. Let us walk in mercy and grace, and may each of our swords be scabbarded along our side and full of glorious light of eternal Father's everlasting glory. Our sword removed to speak the word within the Bible, the living word that the elect hosts alongside this generation would set things right before a righteous man. You see, the prayers of a righteous man, a man who knows what Mystery Babylon really is, a man who walks with such faith and knowledge and belief and speaks the word the elect hosts of heaven given each one of the righteous to slay the wicked in the name of YeHoShUa HaMashiach. That his dwelling places, his mansions can be seen and unseen upon the earth. That the remnant that has prepared themselves, in those that have taken in the treasured mustard seed. Yeah, for in that day 7 women will take hold of one man, and they'll say in that day, we will eat our own bread and wear our own clothes, only let us be called by your name. Take away our reproach. And in that day, the branch of YeHoShUa will be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth will be the well-pleasing nature and the adornment of the survivors of Israel. It will come about that he who is left in Zion and remains in Jerusalem will be called holy. Everyone who is recorded for life in Jerusalem. When YeHoShUa HaMashiach was washed away, and returned to wash away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and purge the bloodshed of Jerusalem from her midst, by the spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning, then YeHoShUa will create over the whole area the whole area of Mount, the temple Mount Zion, and over her assemblies a cloud by day, even smoke. And the brightness of a flaming fire by night, for over all the glory will be a canopy. There will be a shelter to give shade from the heat by day, and refuge and protection from the storm and the rain. Oh, let us sing together now for our well-beloved, a song of our beloved concerning his vineyard. Yea, his well-beloved, yea, our well-beloved, had a vineyard on a fertile hill. He dug it all around. Yea, I dig it too. Removed its stones. Yea, dyed all the white lambskins red, and circumcised the flap, yea, of each man's heart. And he planted, yea, it, with the choicest vine, and he built a tower in the middle of it, and also hewed out a wine vat in it. Then he expected it to produce good grapes, but it only produced worthless ones. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Yehuda, judge between us and YeHoShUa's vineyard. What more was there to do for the vineyard that we have not done in it? Why? Why, when the eyes expected it to produce good grapes, did it produce worthless ones? So now let us tell you what the eyes are going to do to YeHoShua's vineyard. Yea, the Father's glory will be removed, its hedge, and it will be consumed. YeHoShUa will break down its wall, and it will become trampled ground. Has it not? YeHoShUa will lay it waste. It will not be pruned or hoed, but briars and thorns will come up. YeHoShUa will also charge the clouds to rain. No rain on it. To rain no rain on it. Yeah. Too late. That's been done a long time now in the churches. For the vineyard of Yehovah of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Yehuda his delightful plant. Thus he looked for justice, but behold, bloodshed. For righteousness, but behold, a cry of distress. Woe to those who add house to house and join field to field until there is no more room, so that you have to live alone in the midst of the land. In my ears, Yehovah of hosts has sworn, surely many houses shall become desolate, even great and fine ones, without occupants. For 10 acres of vineyard will yield 1 bath of wine, and a omer of seed will yield but an ephah of grain. Woe to those who rise early in the morning that they may pursue strong drink, who stay up late in the evening that wine may inflame them. Their banquets are by lyre and harp, by tambourine and flute, and by wine. But they do not pay attention to the deeds of Yehovah, nor do they consider the work of his hands. Therefore, our people go into exile for their lack of knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude is parched with thirst. Therefore, Sheol has enlarged its throat and opened its mouth without measure, and Jerusalem's splendor, her multitude, her din, and the jubilant within her descend. So man will be humbled, and the man of importance abased. The eyes of the proud also will be abased. But Yehovah of hosts will be exalted in judgment, and the holy God will show himself holy in righteousness. Then the lambs will graze as in their pasture, and strangers will eat in the waste places of the wealthy. Woe to those who drag iniquity with the cords of falsehood, and sin as if with cart ropes, who say, let him make speed, let him hasten his work, that we may see it, taste its salt upon our lips. Yea, and let the purpose of the Holy One of Israel draw near in each of our hearts, and come to pass that we may know the Spirit of truth. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who substitute darkness for light and light for darkness, who substitute bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and clever in their own sight. Woe to those who are heroes in drinking wine and valiant men in mixing strong drink, who justify the wicked for a bribe and take away the rights of the ones who are in the right. Therefore, as a tongue of fire consumes stubble, and dry grass collapses into the flame, so their root will become like rot, and their blossom blow away as dust. For they have rejected the law of Jehovah of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. On this account, the anger of mighty Jehovah has burned against his people, and he has stretched out his hand against them and struck them down. And the mountains quaked, and their corpses lay like refuge in the middle of the streets. For all his anger is not spent, but his hand is still stretched out. He will also lift up a standard in, yea, and to the distant land, yea, a standard to the distant nation, and will whistle, yea, could it be like Dixie, for it from the ends of the earth. And behold, it will come with speed swiftly. No one in it is weary or stumbles. None slumbers or sleeps, nor is the belt at its waist undone, nor its sandal strap broken, nor thrown. Yet its arrows are sharp, Yea, and its bows are bent. The hooves of its horses seem like flint. Yea, and its chariot wheels like a whirlwind of Jehovah's fire. Its roaring is like a lioness, and it roars like young lions. It growls as it seizes the prey and carries it off with no one to deliver. From his hand alone, and he will growl over them all in that day like the roaring of the sea. If one looks to the land, behold, there is darkness, distress. Even the light is darkened by its clouds. In the year of King Uzziah's death, the eyes upon the earth saw YeHoShUa sitting on a throne, lofty and exalted, with the train of his robe filling the temple. Seraphim stood above him, each having 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, and with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. Do you fly like an eagle, like a seraphim, or a cherubim, or a called out, chosen one, that say, Holy, holy, holy is Jehovah of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the foundations of the thresholds trembled at the voice of him who called out, while the temple was filling with smoke, yea, in each righteous man's heart. Yea, then the eyes of that day said, Woe is us, for we are ruined, because we are a man of unclean lips, and we have lived among a people of unclean lips. For our eyes have seen the King, Jehovah of hosts. Then one of the seraphim flew to them, each one with a burning coal in his hand, which he had taken from the altar with tongs. He touched each one's mouth with it and said, As the iniquity was burning from their lips, in their hearts, and their bellies, that the living water could flow from their hearts. In their loins, yea, their valleys, would be like righteous angels forevermore. Behold, this has touched your lips, and your iniquity is taken away, and your sin is forgiven. Isaiah 40:2. Then the eyes of that day heard the voice of YeHoShUa HaMashiach. And the Father told him to say to them, Whom shall I send, and who will go for you guys? Then the eyes of that day said, Here am I, send me. Acts 26:19 for the faithful witness. Yea, shout out to the everlasting glory. Yea, that you love the truth of the word, and for the Spirit of truth to enter in a measure of your true forgiveness for your fellow man and your family. That anger and rage in your heart to receive the grace. Even as I speak, I raise my hand over each one of you, that you would receive the glory of the Spirit in the Father's perfect time and moment by the measure of your faith in the sprouting of your mustard seed in the good soil you prepared. Go and tell this people, keep on listening, but do not perceive. Keep on looking, but do not understand. Render the hearts of this people insensitive, their ears dull, their eye dim. Otherwise they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and return and be healed. In the eyes of that day, they said, YeHoShUa, how long? And he answered, until cities are devastated and without inhabitant, houses are without people, and the land is utterly desolate. Yahovah has removed men far away, and the forsaken places, they are many in the midst of the land. Yet there will be a tenth portion in it, and it will again be to burning, like a terebinth or an oak whose stump remains when it is felled. Yea, like the day we stood on the stump in Washington, D.C., alongside the great obelisk there. Yea, Jehovah, binding all their witchcraft. Having returned as the prodigal son, the holy seed is its stump. Yea, like those that blow a trump. Yea, that blow the trumpets in this time.